that I was the first African American teacher to integrate the faculty of that school, making me become the first African American teacher to integrate the Danville public school system.
What was that experience like?
Ooh, it was shocking. And the interesting thing is I didn't know that I was going to be the one to integrate it. The interview never suggested that I would be put in a position of that nature. So the first day that I entered the big faculty meeting, it was in the cafeteria. Tables were around the room, so like a big rectangle. There were 150 staff and teachers and everything. Teachers. I walked in and sat down and started examining the materials of the first of school. And then I looked up and I decided to see, what other black teachers were in the room with me. And to my amazement, there were none. I was the only one. It was like, am I dreaming? I mean, did this really happen? Where are all the other black teachers that were supposed to be here? I don't recall anybody telling me that I was going to be so like I called it a test case. We were seated by departments, so the people in my department were sort of cordial to me, but the others had nothing to do with me whatsoever. I don't know if they were ignoring me or they too were in shock because I'm not sure that they had been warned of my coming. There was nothing in the newspaper about the fact that they were going to send a black person over to George Washington High School. Nothing in the news media whatsoever. The only time later on my name had ever been mentioned, I was referred to as a Negro science teacher. My name had never been put in the newspaper. But when I realized as I was by myself, I just stood there shocked for a while, trying to figure out what in the world was going on. Is this for real? Am I actually dreaming? When the meeting ended, most of the teachers got up and just sort of went in their own direction. Nobody came to me to say anything to me. The administration apparently was involved in taking care of whatever they needed for the next activity, and none of them came up to me. So I just kind of felt that with this stress, I need to get away somewhere to myself and just kind of unwind. So I went into the restroom. When I went into the restroom, there were two teachers in there ahead of me. I spoke. They did not. When they looked and saw me, they heard, they washed their hands and left the restroom very quickly. I kind of walked around the building for a while, and to my shock, I was the only black person I saw in that entire building for that day. Before I left, however, my department chairperson was out because of death in the family, so he was not there. There was another teacher who stood in for him, and he did come up to me before I left and made some casual remarks to me, so I felt a little bit better about that. But the other teachers would walk by me in the hall and act as though they didn't see me. So it was a shocking situation. It was a sad situation. But it was a situation that made me decide that I was not going to be outdone, that I would show that black teachers were capable of being able to do an effective job of teaching students regardless of what color they were. And despite the fact I may not have been accepted by them, I was going to stay there and do my job and show that I could do it. I would reach out to them, and it was up to them as to whether or not they reciprocated. But in time, I found changes began to